dive into some big NFL stories because, you guys, our first NFL Sunday is tomorrow. And guess what? The Detroit Lions currently have the best record in the NFL. Yep, there's only been one game, but it's facts. The reigning Super Bowl champs raised their banner at home to open the NFL season.
Yeah.
And the Chiefs lost game 1 at home to the Lions. Now, I don't want to downplay what the Lions achieved taking down the champs.
Agreed.
They had a great game, a great game plan, and what a moment for Dan Campbell, the Lions head coach. I'm happy for this Lions organization and their fans, not only to have this moment, but to have 3 days before all of the other games are played to just believe, because they were kind of a big talk this offseason as, you know, who's going to kind of be that unexpected great team. And I was hearing a lot of talk about the Lions, but the Chiefs lost game 1 at home with the best quarterback and coach duo in the league. So I want to dive into that because my first thought is Chiefs have some wide receiver issues. They had 8 drop passes. Patrick Mahomes was throwing perfect passes right into their hands. They needed Kadarius Toney to step up and be great with Travis Kelce out. He had 3 or 4 major drops, one that turned into the pick 6, another one with 2:25 left in the fourth when the Chiefs were down by 1. It just felt off.
Yeah. This game had so many layers to it, right?
Yeah.
Like, you can't just say the Chiefs lost.
No.
There's like so many angles, layers, conversations that you can have based on what we saw.
Yeah.
Early in the week, I said, this was before we knew Travis Kelce wasn't playing.
Yeah.
Somebody asked me, what are the chances the Lions win? And I was like, 25%. I actually wasn't giving them a 0.
Okay.
I was like, they have nothing to lose. Literally nothing to lose.
Those are the most dangerous teams.
Exactly. Dan Campbell seems like the type of guy that would inspire you.
Oh, the most incredible motivator.
Right.
If you listen to any of his like post-game pressers, any of his interviews, like you want to ride or die for Dan Campbell.
And at this point, I know we're going to talk about Chris Jones. I wasn't worried about that. I just was like, okay, yes, the defense might not be as great, but the offense was going to be there. So, but I still gave the Lions a 25% chance of winning. Then Kelce out of the game, which I think was the right call.
Oh, 100%.
I agree.
100% the right call.
Right. And then we start to dissect the Chiefs' offense, how you just explained. The passes were there. If it hits your hands, it's your fault.
It literally went through hands.
Yeah.
In the hands, dropped, hit the chest. Like, it could have not been more on target for Patrick Mahomes.
That pick 6 off of Kadarius Toney's hands. Like, you could, some people could argue. There was one that was, like, low, why did he throw it so low? This and that.
It was perfect.
That pass
was perfect.
If you paused it, he was stretched out by what I assume a coach would show a little boy that's learning how to play football or a little girl who's maybe playing flag football, where it's like, you see this position, this is what you want to look like. Yeah. It looked perfect.
It did.
He looked perfect.
You thought he was going to have it.
Yeah. If you paused it, it's like, okay, they're scoring or whatever. Yeah. And then it goes through his hands. It just was like, when it comes to Kadarius Toney, what if you're the Chiefs, Alex?
Yeah.
How are you looking at this with Kadarius Toney? It's fine. It's just a one game. He's got it in him. Or are you like, okay, maybe there is something that we are not looking at? He has struggled. Obviously, he's been injury ridden the last 3 years, which is a problem. I understand, but all of the untapped potential that people keep wanting to say about Kadarius Toney, it's like, at what point do we give up on that untapped potential? If you're Andy Reid, are you giving up after week 1 on Kadarius Toney?
No. You don't hit the panic button yet. I think the biggest thing was Mahomes didn't have his security blanket. Okay. His number 1 target, Travis Kelce. Mm-hmm. They spent the entire week game planning that Travis Kelce was going to be playing in that game. He was a game time decision. Right. He was ruled out a couple hours before kickoff. And when it's a game time decision and all of your planning has been to go through, he's his number 1 target as a tight end. He's like the best tight end receiver in football. Your entire game plan changes a couple hours before the game. And I do believe that if they had the entire week to prepare without Travis Kelce, we may have seen a different story. But again, as you mentioned, this was Kadarius Toney's like real chance to step up without their number one, Travis Kelce, in and prove that he can live up to everything that we thought he was going to be. And it's crazy because there was so much talk like once Travis Kelce was ruled out, like it's Patrick Mahomes. He'll be fine. The guy can't catch his own passes.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
But I'm just like picturing this. Could you imagine like, hold on, guys, air ball.
Yeah.
Up. Mahomes runs. Like, if anyone could, it would be Patrick Mahomes. But that's just like, that's not how football works. It is a complete team sport. You can't just have one guy, your quarterback, be great without having your receivers, your O-line, your defense, everybody be great to win a game. I do believe the Chiefs are going to be fine.
Yeah, I mean, they should be. They should be. But with Kadarius Toney, could it have been like, could he have the yips like Simone Biles went through that? Because it's like, if you cannot do it with Patrick Mahomes, then who can you do it with? I hope I'm wrong. It's like, I'm not rooting against the guy. I'm just
I
like,
never want to root against someone.
Never, right? I'm not rooting against him, but it's like, this is what happened in a moment where and it was like, again, perfect passes, perfect plays. Like, it's hard to just be like, it's just a one game. It's hard for me. I'm just saying, if I were Andy Reid, I would be having a hard time swallowing that and just saying, it's just week one. I would have to sit there and really think about how I approach Kadarius Toney from this point on.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, Patrick Mahomes spoke after the game. He talked about how embarrassed he was of the situation. But we also have sound. He actually talked about Kadarius Toney. Let's play that.
I have trust in KT. He missed a lot of training camp. Obviously, he wanted to play and fought rehab hard so he could play. Stuff's not always going to go your way. Obviously, he would have wanted to catch a few of those in the game, but I have trust that he's going to be that guy that I go to in those crucial moments, and he's going to make the catch and win us some seasons like he did last year. So we're going to continue to work him in, get him more and more reps, and I'm sure that those drops will kind of disappear.
Mira. Good job.
Yeah.
For Patrick Mahomes to say all of that.
Yeah. That's what you do as a leader. You never throw your guys under the table.
Mm-hmm.
And it's true. I think people forget, if you don't have a completely healthy offseason and training camp, you're not going to be up to game speed game one.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can work out and you can train as much as you want, but until you get those reps in training camp and those reps in a game, that's how you're going to be at 100% ready to go.
Yeah.
So that's definitely something.
It's just something to look at, right? Like, but I love what Mahomes said. Good job, Mahomes. That is how you respond to that. You give your guy as much love and credit as you can.
Yeah.
Something that I was like thinking about after this loss.
Yeah.
I feel that the league, everyone should be a little bit worried that the Chiefs aren't too worried about looking at their offense and be like, okay, if Kelsey's not here, we don't have an offense. Because what if they decide to make a move? Today, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers said that they are not extending Mike Evans' contract. So he's playing out the final year of his contract. Can you imagine they make a move and they pick up somebody like Mike Evans? I know other teams might be looking into it, but that's what I was thinking, where I was like, oof, the team needs to be, the league needs to be on edge. It's like, no, you guys are fine. Don't make any moves. You're good. You just need Kelsey. Don't even think about adding another weapon.
Oh, they'll for sure add another weapon. But what I thought after this was this could be the chip on their shoulder,
right,
that the Chiefs needed. Because when you come in as Super Bowl champs, reigning Super Bowl champs, you can build up that motivation as much as you want, but you just won it all. And now you're coming back, and you got to find a way to mentally get back to that place of like, oh, I'm going to be just as motivated as I was before. And you can get there, but it's a situation like this where you get embarrassed at home as you're raising the banner, game one of the season, when a lot of people have you going back to the Super Bowl.
A lot.
And if you've watched quarterbacks on Netflix and you saw Patrick Mahomes, how enraged he gets with just a little bit of motivation like this during games, I think this could be kind of that kick in the booty motivation that the Chiefs didn't know that they needed.
You make an excellent point, and you're probably right. This is a perfect chip on the shoulder.
Yeah.
What does Chris Jones need, though? What does that guy need to get out there?
Dude, can we just say, like, I thought it was so weird that he was sitting in the stands watching the game for the banner raising during his holdout in between his two agents.
Yeah.
I just thought that was an extremely bad look.
1,000%. And I hope he sits there and he's not thinking, oh, you see how much you need me? No, papi, they need Kelsey. Because without you, they were still going to win. It's just maybe they weren't going to win by as much. Okay? So don't sit there and think that this is you. I could not believe that he was not out there. How many players have we seen start the season upset with their contract, but you know what they do? They start the season.
Oh, yeah.
How did you know? And then you're there?
Oh, that would...
You were like, that was weird. It enraged me.
Yeah, it would get you heated. Also, did you hear his quote that he had this week? Opinions are like buttholes. Everyone's got one. They all stink. I'm just asking for a raise.
You're making $20 million. $20 million.
And he's seeking a deal worth $30 million a year. So he's sitting out for that $10 million. Now, remember, he's going to lose over $1 million, about $1 million a week. He said he would wait out until week 8. So that's $7 million. And he missed all of training camp and got fined $2.2 million. So he's already close to losing $10 million on a holdout where he makes about $20 million, and he's looking for $10 million more for the next year. So it's like you're losing what you want on your next contract. At what point do you just...
Like, for real. Pendejo of the week. No, pendejo of the month.
What's pendejo?
Pendejo is a Spanish for Alex 101. Pendejo is like idiot, like dummy,
okay.
stupid. All of those.
Ooh.
All of those.
Ooh. Okay.
Like, come on, dude. Come on.
I know. He's wanting that Nick Bosa money. I know. He's wanting that Nick Bosa and
We'll talk about
49ers. Both of the Bosas. He's looking for either of the Bosa money.